This would take place after Adam's battle with Hell, and after he was defeated, and after Sir Pentious was brought to heaven. This was weeks after. Emily kept working more and more and more to try to let sinners in. They even worked with Charlie. But as she was calling a meeting, Sarah walked up to her and said, "I wouldn't do that. Sir Pentious was a fluke, and we'll make sure none of his kind reaches up here again." But he was redeemed. We don't know how that happened. We don't know how a soul gets into heaven. We can't make assumptions like that. Sarah, this is proof, Emily. If you go down there, if you make a deal with Charlie, then you'll be kicked out of heaven. Sarah then left, as Emily was shocked. How could this be? How could they do this to her? How could Sarah look at her like this? Sure, Emily had different opinions, but Sarah really saw her as that much of a threat? Emily didn't know what to do. She loved Sarah, but Sarah was treating her like she was a threat, treating her like she was dangerous when she wasn't. She hasn't hurt anyone. All she wanted to do is give these sinners a chance. Is that really so bad? Emily would be with Sir Pentious talking to him. One day, as she looked down sad, Sir Pentious would say, "What's wrong?" Sir Pentious would then begin to listen to Emily. He would listen to her and all of her problems. He would listen to her and her, frustrations with Sarah as he would look at her. "I can see why she's scared. I was very paranoid when we went to the hotel. She's paranoid that the sinners will attack her. Once heaven gets enough sinners, we'll try to get rid of the person that tried to exterminate us." Emily said, "Is that it? Of course, it all makes sense now. I just had to talk her out of that delusion." As Emily started to walk away, Sir Pentious said, "Wait, be careful." "What do you mean? I know you think she's your friend. And, she's not. She's your boss. And she'll do whatever it takes to maintain the rules. Even if the rules are changing, I feel like she'll try to find a loophole. She wants to go back to the old ways. She doesn't like this great change." Emily says, "I know, but I can get through to her." "I know I can," Emily would say as she smiled and walked off. As Emily knew she could do it, she knew she could convince Sarah not to do this. She knew that she could convince Sarah not to continue this extermination. As Emily walked up to Sarah, Emily would say, "I need to talk to you about something." As Sarah would sigh and say, "Listen, Emily, I know you're trying to help, but you're just too young and don't know. I know what's happening. I know we can change things. I know we can make things better. Sarah, Sir Pentious is good, and I know you're scared. I know you're scared of the sinners coming up here, but you have no idea what I'm scared of. You have no idea the pure destruction and chaos they cause. There's a reason they end up down there. There's a reason there's so few people up here. It's because they're dangerous. It's because they're disgusting. And that's why we're up here. That's why we're safe. That's why we're protected, to be away from them. You really want to bring them up here? That's hideous. Sir Pentious got up here. Sir Pentious was a fluke. And he was the exception, not the norm. I will accept how heaven decides who goes up here. However, I will not try to bring more filthy people up here. Just because one man's to do it doesn't mean more will. Now, stop with this nonsense. Emily would be offended and heartbroken. She can't believe Sarah would talk to her this way. She can't believe that Sarah would act this way. As then, Emily and Sarah would start to drift away slowly. Eventually, though, one day, Emily would be called to a meeting, but as she showed up, no one was there except for Sarah and 3 exorcists. She would say, "What's going on?" As suddenly a portal opened up and she began to fall through it. Sarah would say, "I'm sorry, you're a threat to security. Now you're gonna be just like Lucifer." Emily would say, "Sarah, no!" As she began to cry, she fell down. As she looked around, she landed in Cannibal Town. Emily couldn't believe this. After everything she did, after how long she stayed with Sarah, she was betrayed and abandoned just like this. She would get up and look around, and what she would see was cannibals around her. She was disgusted and sickened. Maybe they were right. Maybe sinners were really disgusting people. But no, Sir Pentious changed, and Charlie was so nice, and she's half sinner. She knew that couldn't be right. She knew it was possible for them to get better. But now what? What she would do now? She can't change heaven. She's just stuck here. She would just sit down all sappy as suddenly Rosie would walk up. "Oh, looky here, a fallen angel. Interesting. Why don't you come and have a talk with Mama Rosie?" Emily was desperate for someone to listen to her, for someone to hear her out. So even though she was skeptical, considering what town Rosie ran, She decided to give her a chance, as Rosie would begin to explain her everything, as Rosie would begin to explain how the town works, and why it was so, well, nice. Sure, they may not have the best cuisine for some people, but they were still good people here. As Rosie explained it, Emily looked down and said, I just don't have a place anymore. I'm all alone. Rosie would say, sure you do, darling. You can stay here. Why would I stay in this town? No offense. Because there's a home for everyone in Cannibal Town. As Rosie would begin to sing her a song about the town, sing her a song about the community here, about how welcoming they are here, about how kind they are here, and Emily would start to like it. She didn't like what they ate, but she did like the people there, so she would agree to stay. Days would pass as Emily and Rosie would talk often. As one day Emily and Rosie were talking, Rosie would say, you know, I've been wondering, why don't you go see Charlie? I know you two have history together. Emily would look down and sigh. I promised Charlie I would change things. I promised her I would make things better, but I failed her. I was cast aside like garbage because I am. Suddenly, Rosie would grab her hand. You're not garbage. You're amazing. And Charlie would love to see you. Trust me, doll. You and Charlie have great chemistry. You are great friends. And she's not going to abandon you because you were thrown away. It's not your fault you were thrown away. As Emily would begin to cry and say, you really don't think it's my fault? I know it's not your fault. As in they hugged. Surprisingly, Emily and Rosie got along very nicely. As then Emily would look at Rosie and say, all right, I'll visit Charlie. Emily would then begin to walk to the hotel. As she was extremely nervous, she had no idea how this was going to go. She felt like a failure. She felt like Charlie was going to hate her for being casted aside, hate her for not being able to change things. As she walked to the hotel, she began to knock on the door. As Charlie opened it, Emily, is that you? Charlie said, as she ran up and hugged her. But what happened? I was casted aside for trying to help Sir Pentious and you to get more sinners in there. More sinners? Oh, you didn't know. Sorry. Charlie couldn't believe it. She was sad that Emily was kicked out, but she couldn't believe that Sir Pentious was still alive, and he was redeemed. Charlie would say, I can't believe it, Sir Pentious is still alive! And Emily would say, yeah, I should have told you, but I was just kind of stressed with coming down here and everything, and Emily would then grab her hand and say, I know you might be sad, but we'll show you how hell can be heaven. As in, they take you around, as in Charlie would show Emily around the hotel, and Emily would begin to meet people, as Charlie took her to Husk. So this is Husk, our bartender, so you guys have bars down here. Husk would say, you don't have bars in heaven? No, everyone just feels nice because of the atmosphere, and because of, well, the magical cities that make you feel good with magic. Make you what now? As then Emily would say, well, if you've been up there a long time, you'll eventually become immune to it, but they do have special smells and other things that make you happy, like an amusement park or something, that try to trick you into buying things with good smells. As Husk would say, so you have good smells instead of booze. Huh, lame. As in, Emily would say, I never got the whole thing about booze anyway, but I'll try it. As Emily took a slug, and then she spit it out. Ooh, that tastes disgusting. You actually drink that for fun? What's wrong with you? As then they all started to laugh, as Husk said, ugh. Damn, girl, you have a lot to learn. As then she smiled and said, well, I'm happy to learn it with you all. As Emily would then get to be, well, happy with her surroundings. She would get to learn who Husk was, learn who Nifty was, learn about the hotel residents, learn about what they wanted, learn about what they needed, and learn how to be a decent friend. Finally, she was with Charlie. She was with someone who can actually talk to her. She was with a friend who can actually listen to her and incite her ideas. And even though Emily missed Sir Pentious, even though Emily missed being in heaven, she was glad she was casted away, because now she can actually have a true friend to be with. And she actually found a place where people liked her and accepted her in the Has-Been Hotel. Emily was sad that she couldn't help Sir Pentious, but she knew Sir Pentious was a good person to have his own side. She thought about getting revenge, but she wouldn't do it. Emily was a good person and wouldn't fight back against Sarah with violence. Instead, she would fight back by helping the hotel and telling Hell how it's okay and how it's like to be in heaven and why she thinks Sir Pentious got into heaven. She was Sarah's biggest mistake. Now that she's down here, she can confirm that Sir Pentious is in heaven, and she can give the hotel hope. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying my content. I know I'm enjoying making these videos. I enjoy Has-Been. I love Has-Been as a series. I love Has-Been as a video. And thank you so much for supporting my gaming channel. My gaming video got a lot more viewers than it normally does. So I'm very thankful about that. And I love all your what if ideas. I love all your things. I hear them all the time. But what's your idea for a 10,000 subscriber special? Because 5K, I kind of missed that. That's my bad. But 10K, should I do a Fates review or something like that? Let me know if you want a Fates review or something special for 10K. And what exactly would it be? Maybe a Q&A, maybe all kinds of stuff. I can do all kinds of stuff for 10K. I really could. I really could, in fact. I love my channel, and I worked hard on it. My channel is now a year old. 1 year old, 5K subscribers. 5K is nothing compared to a lot of other YouTubers, but it's a lot for me, and we built this. We built this channel. We built this channel on Has-Been What Ifs. We built this channel. We built this channel on Has-Been What Ifs. Why am I singing? I don't know. Anyway, I love you all. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing night. And I hope you have the best time of your life. See you all. Peace out.